I'm going to double check, make sure we're in the right groups and all that good stuff, which I'm sure we will be. All right. Let's see here. Well, I'm going to assume that we're in the right group. It's not coming up yet.
We're in the one I'm in. So we're in Paisley.
There we are. Okay, perfect. We're ready. All right. Yay, here we are. This is going to be session 1. We're going to talk about online parties today, you guys. And Danielle and Sandi were awesome enough to volunteer. So if you're catching the replay on this #replay, let us know you watched. And if you're here, if you jump on and join us, please ask questions. And if you don't mind, because we are on the live, just put your name next to it. So there's Alexis. So she said, hey, it's Alexis. She knows. Alexis is used to this. So anyway, welcome you guys. What is today? Tuesday. Hi.
Tuesday the 19th.
Wow. I know. Becky says, hello, everybody. I know I'm super excited about this, and I appreciate Sandi Boyd and Danielle Malik for being the first volunteers to say, we'll do this. Right? So we're going to talk today about online parties. Annette is here too. We got a lot of people jumping on. Perfect. This is awesome. I love it. And if you're watching the replay again, just #replay. Lacey's on. Hello, Lacey. So let's just dive right in, ladies, because I know you both have a lot going on today too. The first thing I want to do, because this is online parties, is talk about how to get the parties. We always jump right into training on the parties once we've got them, but how do you get the parties? Like, how do you get the online parties? So Sandi, take it away.
That is an excellent question, and something that I have always wondered when somebody is talking about something. So how do we get parties?
Right.
Oh my gosh, y'all. Okay, so first of all, in case you didn't know, it's 3 letters, ASK. Ask. You have to ask. Oh my gosh, y'all. It is amazing when you just ask someone, hey, would you mind having a party? Now, me personally, I'm just going to say something. Maybe y'all can take this, maybe not. But when I'm asking someone, I don't say, hey, will you have a party? I say, hey, how about a sprinkle link? Hello, a sprinkle link is the link that you use to place an order. All right. They can actually have their very own. They can keep it to themselves, order as much as they want, or share it with friends. Sure. That's what we got to do. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely.
Yes. I definitely agree. Ask. Sorry.
Ask. Yes, absolutely. Ask. Another thing too is in the event that you have your community page, or as others call it, VIP, ask them. Maybe give them an incentive. All right. Now, first of all, what I do is I'm asking my friends, my family, I'm asking for referrals. Hey, do you know anyone that would like to maybe get some fragrance in their home?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that I have learned is because you guys know I do my networking. I go do my networking every week. And one of the things I've learned is that people want to support us. And sometimes they're just not sure how, if they're not purchasing maybe. Like, for example, I have friends that are in the Young Living. I think it's the natural. And so they don't necessarily get into the fragrance part of it, but they ask me, how can I support your business? And that's a great opportunity to say, if you would like to help support my business, get a sprinkle link, because I love that. But I would love it if you would have a party with me, because a lot of times if you just tell people what it is that would help you, they're happy to do it. They just aren't sure what exactly you need. They're just assuming you just need them to buy product from them. So Does that make sense?
So I want to share something too. So, and this about the asking, and probably one of my biggest pet peeves, I'm not going to lie. Like, I sit there and like the blood boils when I see it. When someone says, Danielle, well, I asked everybody and they all said no. And I said, well, what did you say? How did you ask? And they're like, well, I posted it on my community group. And I'm just like, no, like so the biggest thing I will preach this until I'm blue in the face is people party with you if they know, like, and trust you, right? They're not gonna. What makes Danielle different from Sandi, from Dana, is they know, like, and trust me as opposed to these two ladies, right? And not saying they're not fabulous, because they are, but they know, like, and trust me. So just posting, hey, do you want to have a party in my VIP group, doesn't always give you that little, like, you have to build those relationships. So you can't just, like, message Sandi, who you haven't talked to since freshman year of high school, and you're celebrating your 25th anniversary of being out of high school, right? You can't do that, right? You have to be able to start building that relationship, know, like, and trust them, and just posting on your community group or VIP page or business page doesn't help. Do I do it every once in a while? Yes, I do, because you got to sit there and still share, because you never know, there might be that person back there who wants to have a party and they didn't know you offered parties, right? You got to still sometimes share that, but you can't just sit there and say, I asked everybody, is because I used the at everyone. And I technically said, who wants to have a party? That's not asking everybody, my friend.
Right.
Exactly.
Somebody just asked if, do you send a personal message to your friends because they don't do it? They feel like it's spammy. So how would you respond to that? That's a good point, because it can be spammy.
Yes.
It can be.
So I have actually worked on this quite some time now. Not being spammy is, first of all, asking, how are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
You can even admit, and I did this actually last week. I said, my apologies for not reaching out to you before now. How are you doing? Mm-hmm. And I left it at that. So it's on their end whether they want to respond on how they're doing, because I genuinely, y'all know what I'm talking about, want to know.
Right.
So is that the question, Dana?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I feel like, because what they're saying, and I agree with this. Let me just tell you something. You guys know my birthday was yesterday. Can I tell you how many people I have not heard from ever, or maybe didn't even really know, that suddenly sent me a message and said, hope you had the best birthday ever. One of them said, would you post a link on your page saying, I mean, I'm just like, you gotta be kidding, because my name popped up. Like, that's spammy. But
Yes.
if a friend of mine reached out and said, like, I have a friend with Mary Kay, actually, and she reached out to me and said, I'm just really working on building up my party base right now. Is there any chance you would have a party with me? Well, I talk to her every now and then, so I didn't consider that spammy at all. Mm-hmm. And in fact, I said, yeah, sure, I'll do whatever. But so yeah, there is a way to do it.
I agree. It's, if you haven't had a conversation with this person for a year, no, don't do it. But if you've talked to them, even if it's been a month or two, you can still reach out to them. You still have some kind of conversation. But if you want to start building those conversations, if you want to start connecting those people, first start with commenting on their posts, being genuine on their posts.
Yes.
Be genuine on their posts. Start commenting on their posts. Start finding, like, interactions, and then randomly, then you got to sit there and be like, hey, how's it going? But don't still be like, hey, I want to have a party. You can't have to ask that question for, like, at least another, like, 4 or 5 months. Sorry. Like, you got to build that relationship with them. Absolutely. Right. So I think that helps. And that, by the way, so I know who that was because I checked. That's Kayla. Hey, Kayla, just make sure you guys add your name if you guys are coming in. If you're not.
Oh, yeah, because we're on a different platform. We're on Be Live, and so it may not show it unless you are a Be Live user.
But I think that's a great question. I was checking to see.
Feel free to ask questions like that, because they're all good questions. The other funny thing is, I have had people say this to me before, like in my networking group. Actually, one of the ladies said, I didn't even realize that you did parties. And she was like, you never asked me. And I'm like, okay, well then that's on me. Like, you know what I mean? So you have to let people know what you do and what helps your business. And there is a way to do it that's not at all spammy, because it's your business. It's what pays. Maybe it pays your bills. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe you just do it for fun. But either way, it's okay to talk about it. So do y'all have anything else on that?
I will say, if in the long run I do not have any parties, I do play a booking game on my VIP page. Wow. So for instance, Friday the 13th is coming up, guys. just so you all know, I know it's a month away, but it's coming up and it's one of my favorite holidays. And I always do like a, lucky, like, are you lucky on Friday the 13th? Or you can even do, are you lucky on St. Patrick's Day, lucky or not? Or you can trust me, there's a million ways that you can do booking games. But like, I always do it like where they can win something. They can either win like 3 deluxe samples of sprinkles, or congratulations, you can book a party and you get a extra bag of sprinkles with your qualified party.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing, if I ever am desperate and need parties, I always offer a special, like an extra, a bag of sprinkles, a carton of sprinkles, depending on how desperate I am, right, on those extra items. But I always add with a qualifying party, which is at least $200.
Yeah.
So I always add that on there. That is with a qualifying party. And if I do booking games, I put in the comments, if you're playing this game, you agree to have a party if you win, book a party.
Right.
Because so I add those like little asterisks, like small print, because of that reason. So
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So, go ahead, Sandi.
Yeah. One last thing. The question is how do you book parties?
Yeah.
And I'm going to suggest reaching out to all of your Scent Flirt subscribers.
Ooh.
Not only, they are receiving something every single month, but in the long run, when they do have a party, a sprinkle link, they also receive their discount on their items when they are hosting. So that's something that's something to consider. So reach out to your Scent Flirt members.
I love that. That's a perfect idea. I just highlighted, Alexis said, Danielle, you should do a training on Are You Lucky?
I will record one for you and I'll post it here.
Please do. Sandi, you said that about Scent Flirt, but we also sometimes forget to go back to the basics and go back to people that perhaps purchased or were hosts in the past, or maybe there's somebody that purchases a lot and you can say to them, hey, listen, you can get some free and half off if you just take a sprinkle link and invite some of your friends. I mean, there are so many things that we can do, right?
Oh my gosh, I have to tell on myself, y'all. You're absolutely right, Dana, and it just popped into my brain. I'm sure y'all have done this, but I have done this quite a few times. People have ordered so many sprinkles, or they've ordered at least once a month, or they're a Scent Flirt member, whatever the case may be. But I have literally set them up a party, a sprinkle link, and then reached out to them. Oh my gosh, you are not going to believe what is going on. Here's your sprinkle link. Use it for this month. Share it with your friends. And they've done amazing, just because I took the incentive just to say, you're a good host, or you would be a good host, or here's your sprinkle link, run with it.
Absolutely. That's a referral. I mean, they're referring their friends to jump on and buy products. So turn it into a party. Sprinkle link. I love it. Yeah. Everybody's loving the sprinkle link. So I like that.
New word, new phrase, right?
So, all right. I love it. Yeah, I love that. So then the next thing would be the host coaching, I think you guys mentioned. So Danielle, you want to jump in?
So host coaching is huge. Now, I will tell you, you can have the world's best host and you still may have the world's worst party. Like, that doesn't matter. Or you can have the world's worst host and have one of the best parties you've ever seen. So please note that, like, just because what I say is not gold, because I have seen it go both ways. But the biggest thing you want to do is you do want to host coach. So Sandi talked about this earlier. Well, with us, not with you guys, that you want to find out how your host wants to communicate. Are they a phone person? Are they a text, a private message? Are they snail mail? How are they communicating? Please don't communicate with your host snail mail, because it'll take forever. But, how is your host preferred method of communicating, and when, right? Like, I have a bunch of hosts that are in a daycare, and they are not allowed their phones during the time frame. So it makes no sense for me to send them all this communication during the middle of the day, right? So when is the best time to communicate with your host for those things. And you're going to want to give them verbiage on like, hey, here, here's how you want to invite your people over, right? You don't want to just add every single person into the group. And I believe most of us all agree we use groups as opposed to events. I used to use events, I'm not going to lie, but Facebook doesn't like events as much anymore on how you see the posts. So I moved to groups. Okay. And you also can schedule posts, and I schedule via Facebook post scheduling. So I can also use that. But like, I talk to my hosts. I do share with my hosts. You want at least anywhere from about I tell them about 15 to 40 friends in there max, and 40 is high. I typically tell them the sweet spot's about that 25 spot, right? Mm-hmm. Because from there, you'll probably get about at least four buying friends. I tell them every about 10 people they have, they get about 4 buying friends. Or 2 buying friends. I'm so sorry. So for every 10, you get about 2 friends to buy. And if you wanted at least a $200 party, $60 order, you need 4 buying friends. So I kind of share that with them. I see how much they want to, what they all want. What is on their wish list, right? What is your wish list? Because if they're sitting there giving me a list this long, I'm like, okay, well, you're going to need to have at least a $500 party, my friend. Wow. I do try to encourage them to have a $500 party. I do personally give them a little extra if they have a $500 party, because I want them to hit that heroes mark. I want to give days of daycare to single moms. I had a single mom, so that's super important to me. So I do utilize that. And then I go through, and again, I give them verbiage. I touch base with them each day. Hey, you have no orders. Hey, you have orders. Hey, did you see my post today? Hey, make sure you comment, because same thing as I say, my customers know, like, and trust me, and they're going to order from me. Some of these people at this party aren't going to know, like, and trust me. So they don't have no clue who I am. No matter how much I tell them I'm the most amazing person they'll ever meet. They don't know that until they actually get to meet me. Right. So therefore, I need my host who they know, like, and trust to participate, to see that the host is excited about the products so they can go ahead and order.
Right. So I'm going to back up just a little bit. First of all, Kyla asked about, so you make a group for the party. And I believe, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, the only time I use an event is if once that day comes and goes, like, for example, the Rev It Up rally we've got coming up, I used an event for that, because when it's over, it's over. Like, I don't need it to show up anymore. I don't need to follow up in that group, but I use a group for a party because it does not expire and it's easier to find. Is that kind of why y'all use group as well?
Very similar, yes, for me. And then so I can always go back if the host rehosts again in the spring. Like, I'll have that link. They'll already have people in there. So people, not the party link, we'll use a new party link, but they'll already have people in there. You can archive them. But like, if there's a super amazing special that you want to share, you can go back and share it as well. And again, remind people to join your community group, different things like that. So
okay, that's perfect. And then the other thing I wanted to touch on, you used the words wish list a couple of times. So at what point and how do you get people to figure out what's on their wish list? Do you send them to the lookbook? Like, what are you doing, especially now? Like, what are you doing to get people to make a wish list?
Can I share my screen on here? We have a wish list in our back office, right?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Okay. Well, okay. So has it, but is it updated all the time?
It's updated every month.
Okay. I did not know that. So thank you. Does anybody else not know that? We have a wish list that's available that's updated every month. I did not know that. I thought it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Each month it'll say like August wish list, but it also gives fragrances as well as accessories.
Good.
So there's 2 pages.
I bet I'm the only one who didn't know that. I did not. I thought, remember, we used to do it on catalog season, so that we're in a totally different environment now. Okay, good. We got some other people that didn't know that. Perfect.
I'll show you real quick how to do that.
I'm glad I asked.
Yes, great question.
Did not know that. That is, you know what? That's amazing for anything we're doing, whether we're having an in-home party or anything like that. Print that stuff out.
You use that for your home parties. I actually did a training with my little team that says about that too.
Wish list, updated monthly.
Yep. So go to resources. For anyone who doesn't know how to find it, go to resources. And then you're going to go to where it says host and party tools. Sorry, it's the glare.
Yeah.
And then it says September accessories wish list. And Oh, it is a really bad glare. Never mind. That might not work.
Okay.
And September 23 wish list. And they pop up. And like for the fragrances, it tells you if it comes in a room spray, if it comes in
Why did I not know this?
Yes, it is amazing. It is amazing.
So, yeah.
Mission
you can
accomplished.
actually post that. You can actually post that in your groups. And if you want to give like a narrative of the, the the insect spray, I mean, you can actually do that so everyone can see exactly what it is available in.
I am psyched. That is the best news. What happened to my camera? All of a sudden, it just went weird. That is such good news.
A lifesaver.
We have people that are saying their mind is blown. Like, seriously, I'm so glad we had that conversation. When you said wish list, I kept thinking, yeah, but how is that working? Because I don't remember that. It was like, catalog to catalog. Yeah. Good. I always love it when we learn something new.
Yes. So, but then I also tell them, look at the website, different things like that too.
Yeah.
So they can see it, but yes.
But if you, so she just said, how do you share that? Do you copy and paste it?
I personally have just done a snapshot, like a screenshot, and then, went into Canva, put a Pink Zebra independent consultant logo on it.
Yep.
That's what I personally have done.
I am so excited about that. Oh my gosh. Well, we can end the call right now. I think that's all.
Learn something new. We can get
seriously, that's a big deal, especially with how we're going. Like, I know it's been challenging for people without the catalog and doing the monthly things. And that right there will help immensely.
Yes.
Because you got to constantly be on that website to stay caught up.
Yeah. I know this is not the training, but because I do live, I do like the online selling as well, like live like social selling. And I have every single scent, and I'm also OCD-ish, and I like to have every single scent alphabetized. I print that out, so I make sure I have every single scent and every single scent alphabetized on my racks.
I am so totally going to be doing that. I'm just saying, like on everything.
I used to do it with my catalog, and I'm like, I don't have that anymore. So
even when I go to my networking meetings, I am going to print that sucker out before I go, because they always ask, and now I'm like,
Now I will tell you. So at the bottom, it does give the QR code. What I personally have been doing is I've gone into Canva and I do mine because I love Canva. I take that and then I take the QR code that is associated to the party or whatever, and I cover up the Pink Zebra QR code with the party QR code.
Yeah, 100%. I would do that too.
I actually just use my QR code for my website.
Yeah.
Then I don't have to change it every single time, but that's me personally.
That is so funny. Yeah, we got a lot of people mind blown. I love it. Chris said that'll be my new catalog. Can't wait to watch this. The replay will stay, so you'll be able to go back and watch this. And that right there was a piece of gold. So hello. Hashtag replay if you're just now hearing about that. Okay, so I'm excited. That really helps in every avenue of how we're working our business, you guys. What other bits of nuggets do y'all have? So let's see. So you've done your host coaching. Then, what do you do? How do you guys go about your posting and all that? Share. Whoever wants to go first.
You want me to go first?
Sure.
Okay. So I do weekly. I do like a week, and I typically start mine on a Tuesday, and on Wednesday, and I go through like Tuesday, and then Wednesday is kind of the wrap up. Only reason why is just it works with my personal business, my schedule. It works when I'm able to add the host in and everything like that. There's no other logical reason besides it works with my schedule. Do whatever makes sense of your schedule. But then what I do is, I tell the host, I chat with the host again the night before, just making sure they're still good, they're ready to go, they're getting excited, and then on Wednesday morning, I have the group created. I add the host in. I give them the verbiage about, hey, remember to invite your people, saying I'm having a party, everything along those lines. We're super excited, and then give them a link, right, to the party, to the group. And I also give them their personal link. Now, I've given them their personal link probably like a week in advance. I also do that. As soon as they book a party with me, I'm giving them their link and saying you can start getting orders now. Yeah. So it doesn't matter if it takes them 3 weeks to get through their party or whatever, but I re-give them their link because, life happens. They lose the link, whatever happens, right? And then I have them in and I tell them, all right, start inviting your friends. Now, they're like my daycare people who I know are not going to invite people over to the night before. I do it Tuesday, like the night before. I at least invite the host in, and I say, don't invite people before you leave for work in the next morning, kind of deal, just so the host is in there. Then I start, I do posts. I do the video about, from Tom and Kelly. I do an introduction about myself. I do just a general introduction about Pink Zebra. And, I ask them, how do they know the host? Because everyone loves that, right? And then I do go live later in that evening for about 15 minutes. And I just do a quick, like, hey guys, my name's Danielle. I am an independent consultant with Pink Zebra. I've been with the company for 10 years. We specialize in these soft soy beads called sprinkles that you can mix and match to use your own unique fragrances. And then we also have our diffuser oils, our room sprays, and I show them quickly about them. And here's our simmering lights. Like, it is like 15 minutes of boom, here's quick information about Pink Zebra. And I say, no, I know I'm the different person in this. I still offer samples, but there are sniffer samples, guys. When I tell you there are sniffer samples, let me see if I can grab one real quick. Oh, darn it. I don't see one. Oh, hold on. When I tell you they're sniffer samples, I can fit 3 of these in an envelope with my card and a little card that says hello and a regular stamp. These are sniffer samples. So I have them already pre-made. I always have the scent of the current month, the hero scent, and then one other scent. They get 3 of these. So I do offer them samples with, if they want to buy, sell them. You have to comment by 4 p.m. on Thursday to get these samples. Because if you comment afterwards, I won't have time to get them out in the mail prior to the party closing. Mm-hmm. And so I just let them know that. And then the next day I talk about sprinkles, right? I share them all about sprinkles. And again, I'm not over posting. I'm probably like max of 5 posts a day, and they're spread out. And I pre-schedule these posts, just so you know, and I pre-schedule them with Facebook Scheduler. If you're an admin on a group, you can schedule posts. So I do what is Pink Zebra? I do the quick video. What is sprinkles? The quick video about sprinkles, about recipes, about sprinkles, about going nose blind with sprinkles, like different things. Next day, simmering lights and accent shades, right? Because I think those go together, right? Hand on hand, because everyone always wants an accent shade and they don't realize that they need the simmering light underneath it. So you need to kind of combine those two. Next day, simmer pots. Next day, diffuser oils. Next day, room sprays. And then I kind of do a wrap up. During this time frame, I am, not giving away the farm, right? I offer samples there. I will play a quick game, or if I'm seeing that the party's doing things, but people aren't ordering by Saturday. I always sit there and say Saturday because Friday, people tend to get paid on Friday. Yes. So if they want to buy something on Friday, they're going to buy something. But if Saturday I'm not getting any orders, I do offer a free bag of sprinkles for the first order. And you just see how many people jump on ordering that part at that point in time, right? Like people are like, oh, am I the first person? Am I the first person? Yes, you all are. Somehow you all came in at the same exact time. I don't know. Right. But, and then I just wrap up the party. And then during this whole time, I am communicating with the host. Again, make sure you're commenting on the post. Make sure, you're reaching out to your friends who said that they were interested but haven't accepted the invitation. Reach out to those people who are showing that they're interested, but I haven't seen them order, right? You're still talking to your host about those things. So that's kind of how I do my parties. If, again, the party's booming and bumping, I might go back on live again and do another quick little like, hey, here's a little bit more about Pink Zebra, Q&As, or if there's a lot of people talking, like, what kind of questions do I have for you? Can I help you answer?
Right.
I always give the party link or the sprinkle link now that we're utilizing that word. I give that sprinkle link at the beginning of the party, in the middle of the party, and at the end of the party. But I also always tell people that if they are having trouble with the link or they have any questions or they need help with whatever, feel free to reach out and message me directly, and I'm happy to help them. And if I place the order for them, I just send them a Square invoice, they pay me, and I place the order. So perfect. And okay. I keep them posted too on where the party is, by the way.
You do what? Oh, keep the host posted. Yeah. Always.
Like the customers posted too.
Oh, okay, cool. Mm-hmm. So how about you, Sandi? Because I know you do it different. We all do it a little different, which is cool. I love that.
Yeah. And that's the great thing. You can make it your own. So you can take a little bit of this and a little bit of that and make it your own. So I personally, when I am doing an online party, I will request at least 15 in the group before I start posting anything. Such things as, your simmer pots, your simmering light tracks, etc. So I request 15. That includes me and the host to be in the group. From there, that way then they can grow and others can come in. I personally do not send any type of samples. And the reason being is that as soon as someone places an online order for the party, the sprinkle link, I then am sending them a goodie bag such as this.
That's so cute.
That is what I personally do. Whatever works for you is where y'all need to go. Another thing too that I do not do is play games. That is just me personally. I have found that others will maybe like it or love it, but they won't comment on the game. That's just me personally. And you never know. I may have to change that up soon. Who knows? Because we are always changing to make sure that we are staying in line with what our host wants.
Right, right. I love that. And one of the things I'm going to tell you guys, because you mentioned not sending samples, I have noticed that if I don't, because I tell people when somebody says, do you send samples? And I say, sure. As soon as you place an order with me, I'll send you some samples of the ones that you didn't try. And that's all of a sudden they're like, okay, well, let me go place an order.
Yes.
Hello.
Yep.
I'm finding that in all the areas of how I'm doing things. I used to be the sample person. I would give out samples all the time, but I find that I'm doing it more now just to the people who've placed an order. But the cool thing is it works both ways. Like whichever way you're most comfortable is the way you should do it. That's what I love about all of this is we all do things differently. You did say you don't play games, Danielle. I think you were nodding that you don't either.
I don't play games either.
So what about commenting challenges? Like, do you ever say, I'm going to, give away a sample or something to, the top person who contributes to the group? Or do you do anything like that ever? No? Okay.
No, personally, I don't. I
Okay.
just
Well,
find,
that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
I just find, well, maybe it's my age. I don't know. But people just want to learn about sprinkles. They want to know about sprinkles. They want to know what the simmering lights do.
Yeah.
They want to know what the simmer pots do. So I do a lot of training, I guess you could say, or not really even training. It's educating.
Exactly.
So the education, and that I found, and my memory is failing me right now, but there was an image of what is included, excuse me, on the simmering lights. And that has been amazing. I mean, absolutely amazing.
If you do that, will you stick it in this group? Because that would be good to have.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was either on our website or in the back office, and I can't remember exactly where. But there is so many things on our website, y'all, that we can actually take and use.
Yeah. And the other thing because I do online parties, I don't do them, like I don't go out looking for them so much. I will tell people that I'm happy to do them. And that's when people are like, oh yeah, let's do one. But what I find is I do little snippets, like when you were talking, Danielle, about each day you do a product line. I'll do a quick little video or live even. And I mean, I keep it quick, like a minute to 2 minutes, where I'm showing them basically, here's how a simmer pot or a simmering light works. And here's what it looks like with the shade.
We have those videos on our website too.
I know, but I like doing it myself because I want them to see me.
Yeah.
I love showing them the wall hug. I think we're sold out right now, but I love showing them the wall hug because I can't tell you how many people have gotten those and said, mine doesn't work. Well, did you notice that there's a button on the bottom? So if I say that in my little video and I keep it short and sweet, but if I do that kind of stuff, and not only they're getting to see me and my personality again, they're the people that don't know me that well are learning to, hopefully like and trust me and all that good stuff. So, and if you're not comfortable doing videos in live, that's fine. Do your graphics. But I'm just saying, if you can give yourself just a couple of seconds or a couple of minutes on your live or on your parties, it goes a long way. It goes a long way.
And that's why I go live in the beginning and I do like the quick, but then I share those videos from the home office. I have thought about making my own videos because I used to make them. I used to do an old style where I had a 4-minute video that had everything, but like I have debated about thinking them into it too, because I agree, people like and trust you, like they see your face. And I'm not a party person, I'm not a game person either. I personally see games half the time and I roll my eyes, and like when I'm on those parties, and I know that sounds like maybe when I get invited to the 1001 Pamper Chef parties, guys, please, if you're my friend, please never invite me to a Pamper Chef party.
I have been to so many.
I do not cook. Do not invite me to one. But anyways, I always joke with that because that's the one I swear my number one. I don't know what I need to take their training because they are the number one party I get invited to. I'm not gonna lie. Like how they book so many parties, I have never figured that out. But anyways, so I don't play games either. I don't. They're not my jam. Like I'll play them on my community group, but they're not my jam there. And again, because I feel like people when they're playing the games, they're expecting they want the free stuff. What am I going to give free for this? And I don't want to give away every single thing. I'll give away for the first order because I need to get the party moving.
Right.
And I also do, if we get 10 orders, I give another free bag of sprinkles away too. So I do that because again, my opinion is if we get those 10 orders, we're getting closer to that $500 party, if not over it kind of deal. And I'm trying to hit that heroes party. But I don't. Now I'm listening to and I'm reading the comments. I might be getting rid of those sample requests, guys. I'm seeing it.
I'm telling you, somebody just said the people that want the samples, and that's what I always found. It's like they just want more samples. That drives me crazy. It drives me insane. I used to do the same thing at events. I would give out samples with my business card. I don't do that anymore. I do not give out a sample. You want to smell it and buy it. And then they give you a sample next month.
I used to be like that too. You get a sample. Right. And like I stopped it on TikTok. I have reduced it greatly on like new catalog launch, new web product launches and everything that. But yes, I think in the long run, I think I need to stop it on my party groups too. Because I will probably say yes, out of like maybe the 5 people that asked me for them, maybe 2 order. So yeah.
Well, that's the cool thing is you can try it. And then if you find that you need to add them back in, add them back in. I mean, that's what's, really awesome about it. There was something I was going to ask you. Oh, okay. So, I want to talk about graphics here in just a second, but the first thing I do want to say is I don't know about y'all, I don't have a whole lot of time anymore to just scroll around Facebook and Instagram and all those things. So when I'm invited to parties, I don't spend a whole lot of time there. Like I want to just give me good information and then I'm out. And if you give me really good information, I might buy. And so that's what we have to I feel like sometimes we put so much information and we just constantly throw graphic, and people just, it's like too much. So first of all, tell me where you get your graphics, and then how do you post them, and how many do you think you do in a day?
I get my graphics, some of them from the graphic groups.
Yeah.
And then some I make my own because I am a true believer that you need to make your own and everyone needs to know how to make graphics. And I apologize. I am 100% a believer of that. So that's my first thing. And again, I do about no more than 5 posts a day, typically about 3 or 4. Because again, I'm not trying to overstimulate people. I get overstimulated by posting multiple posts a day.
Right.
So that's, something that I truly
you have to respond when people comment, you have to respond. So then, was that what you were going to say?
But like, there are some great ones. And like, I always say kind of about like the games. I do ask the ones that are like, which simmering light do you like? Because I love those ones. Or which simmer pot would you use? Like those ones are great, and they're great for that engagement. So they're not necessarily things, but they're asking people those questions. So I will post those. But then again, if I post multiple of those, I'm going to respond to multiple people. Ooh, I don't have that time in my life.
So when you make graphics, do you use Canva?
I do use Canva.
And then do you schedule your posts on Facebook or Canva?
I schedule via Facebook. You can schedule via Facebook. I love it. You can't schedule via Canva. I haven't figured out the full. I haven't played around in it enough. There's randomly, like if I make an image, I just send it to like for my VIP page or if I'm making something right then there, I send it through Canva that way instead of downloading it. But I haven't gone to the full nitty gritty of that. But you have to have Pro. I have Pro, and I love Pro.
I do too.
I recommend. I will sit there and say I don't recommend buying things if you don't have to, but if you can, buy Pro because your life it changes on Canva, like from here to here.
Yeah.
And like I waited for 2 years because I'm cheap. I'm super cheap, guys. I don't like to spend money on things. So yeah.
Before you go, Sandi, hang on one second. Heather said, she said that I was right. So I just want to point that out. No, I'm kidding. Parties are becoming shorter and people want to find out about the product order and leave 100%. And she's moving towards shorter parties with live product demo. You can get a lot of info out fast in a short live. Yes, 100%. So, okay, Sandi, what were you going to say?
Yeah.
I know, right?
It's like, I would much rather go live and just get it done and over with. And then people can actually go back and watch it if they so choose. I love to talk. I mean, if we're not in here, we probably do like to talk. You all know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So I would much rather go live and get my point across or get my educating across or the training or whatever the case may be. I love the fact that you said, Dana, that you like doing your short little videos. Another little tidbit, if y'all want to go really quick, use your time lapse on your camera because it will go so fast that sometimes if you blink, it's done. So it's very quick. People want quick and easy. That's just a recommendation.
I love the time lapse thing. I forget about that all the time, and I need to use that more because I love the time lapse.
Yeah, and you can also do like if you're taking a photo, at least on my iPhone, you can. If you're taking a photo, if you hold your finger down on the photo button, it will give you a clip of like video. So it's very short, very very easy to use.
Right.
There were two things. You had asked about graphics. I personally was scared to death when I first started Pink Zebra of doing my own graphics. It's pretty crazy. I went to college for interior design, y'all.
Oh, wow.
I was afraid of doing a little graphic on on paper or on my phone, whatever. Right. So I do use Canva. I do use Pro. It is an amazing little app because you can actually do videos on some of those things as well. So you can put something in the background and then be talking about something totally different than what the background shows. So,
right.
I also tell you Canva's easier on the computer, desktop, laptop, whatever you want to call it. Because if I call it, I say in your computer, and people are like, "Well, I have a laptop." It's to me
same
the same thing.
Yeah,
but it's easier on there than on your phone.
Yes,
so
I would agree 100%.
With that.
I would agree.
And
with
I've
that.
been a pro on my phone. Just to let y'all know, it is. You can use it all.
You can. So, it's when I have like people messaging me, "Hey, can you make me a quick graphic at like 9 o'clock at night?" And I'm holding my daughter in my arms, and I'm like, "Sure, it can work." I'm like, "It might not be the prettiest, but it's gonna work for you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. You had another question. You were talking about graphics and
if you do any commenting challenges or anything like that.
Oh, you asked about scheduling.
Oh, scheduling. Yeah. How do you schedule?
That's it. Okay, scheduling. I have been dabbling with the Canva scheduler, and it's kind of pretty cool because you can actually bring it up on your computer and you can see exactly what is actually going to be posting on what day, which is very nice. I actually use, as Danielle was talking about, I use Facebook Scheduler. It has been amazing. And in the online parties, y'all, in the groups, I usually go for about 10 days. And the reason why I do 10 is that the first 3 days, I am communicating with the host back and forth numerous times, getting those, getting her friends and such, or his friends, getting their friends in the group. And then I had a gray moment, y'all, because I do
that all the time. So 10 days, your first few days are getting everybody going, and then
7 days. And I usually I usually begin with 2 or 3 posts, one in the morning, one in mid-afternoon, the first 2 days of the 7-day party. And then I kind of gradually go up from there. And I also make sure that I put the opportunity in there.
Ah, okay. Yeah, let's opportunity scent flirt. There's so many things that we haven't even touched on, which you want to be sure to add to your things. Let me ask one other question, and then we'll try to close it up. And anybody that's got questions, please post them so that we can answer. But I want to ask you guys, how do you organize yours? Let me tell you what I have done, and I have heard there are so many easier ways. I know that there's been people that use Scent Share, I think, to organize stuff, and I think they do posting too. But I think you can organize in Facebook. But I did this a long time ago, and I still use it. I have a Facebook group that only I am in. It's only me, and so I will have myself organized each day of what I want to. And so then whenever things change, I just go in and switch out my graphics, or I don't put my videos in there, but it's just a little, I know, right? I did this a long time ago, and I don't know why I forget to tell people about it, but I'm the only one in the group. So I can do whatever I want, and I keep it that way. So I just go bleep, I pick it out, put it in the thing. Next day I move on, do the whole thing. I have also heard, I think Shannon Stewart said she uses, what's it called on your phone? Notes. She uses notes and keeps hers done in a daily that way.
That's what I use.
You use notes.
Well,
okay.
I use Google Docs because I use the Gmail, so it's connected to both my computer and my phone, but I can connect it either which way. So
got it. And I used to use Asana, I think it was called. It was one of those other apps. But I'm like, why? I'm on Facebook. Let me just do Facebook. Like,
that makes sense.
That's an excellent idea. I love that. Having a group just to yourself.
Yeah, you can put stuff in there. And especially if you don't want to forget about it at some point, you can just throw something in there, and you're the only one that sees it. So you go grab your info when you need it.
Yeah.
What about you, Sandi? How do you kind of organize?
Oh gosh, y'all. I am a very detailed oriented person. But when it comes to graphics or posting, that kind of thing, when I am in an online party, I will do from A to Z within the 7-day time period. So I will begin with the introduction to sprinkles. I'm scheduling on Facebook Scheduler, doing that. Once they reach the 15 in the group, then I will see how many people are viewing it, not liking it, y'all. Viewing it. Because if you see those people are viewing it, you know that they are watching, and you know that they are looking. So I kind of go again of what's going on in the group. If somebody says, oh my gosh, I like gray, then I'm going to post a gray simmer pot. Or I like elephants. I'm going to post something about elephants. I'm really kind of being in tune, I'm trying to always be in tune with what's going on in the group.
That's, you know what? Okay. I'm just going to add, because I kind of do that too. I am a little bit of a fly by the seat of my pants when it comes to that. I use my things more just to keep me going. But what you just said is huge, because if you're not reading the room, you're going to lose the viewers. And so that's exactly what you're doing, is you're reading the room, and you're absolutely kind of giving them what you're noticing that they're asking for. So that's a very, very, very important point. So I love that.
I have also seen that a lot, even in my community group, I see a lot of individuals that love the sprinkle recipes.
Yeah.
They love those, and I get a lot of views on those. So, if I see 30 views, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Y'all, I do not understand it personally, but even like my Scent Saturday that I do you wouldn't believe the private messages I get. And I think it's because people just have a hard time wrapping their head around
the
mixing.
recipes.
Yeah.
And then the crazy recipes, right? Like not like the everything mixes with amaretto cream recipe, which,
right.
But like going outside the box. Actually, I saw your one that you just did last week with the that scarlet spruce and the pink pineapple. I was like, what the heck? That sounds crazy. And I mixed and they did smell good together.
That was
like
Sylvia told me about that one, and I'm like, I gotta smell it.
Yeah, I agree though. Like people love recipes, and I have people who they will sit there because I have some of them similar like back to back, the same party host every couple months. And like they have the same customers. And they're like, I want this recipe, this recipe, and this recipe. Give me the sprinkles and make that. Right. And I'm like, soul can do that for you.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, and really truly that is the basis of what we do is our sprinkles. So I think sometimes we forget that people just love to hear about the different recipes that they can make. So does anybody have any questions? Because I know we're coming up on almost an hour and I don't want to go over an hour for sure. Or are there any things, ladies, that you're thinking of that you haven't mentioned yet that you would like to put out there?
I just agree in general. Just again, read the room. Again, if it figure out what the person likes, right? Like I had a host who's does not believe in Halloween. So I'm like Halloween like spooky everything. So I had to make sure my images did not really reflect Halloween, but I did share some Halloween things because there are other people in there who do like it, right? So you got to figure out what your host kind of likes. Again, just talking to them, finding out about the customers. And again, also, I know we kind of maybe touch base on this, share the lookbook.
Yes, that's huge.
It's always, I do a quick step-by-step on how to look at it because this is how you can, if you don't have, the gentleman's skull accent shade behind Dana, which is the most amazing accent shade I've ever seen. I love it. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. I have no reason why, because I'm not normally a skull person, but love it.
Me neither.
And and if you can't show, you can show how to elaborate into how it shows, right? But I also love sharing in real life photos too, and take those from people. People share those all the time, especially for the accent shades that you use them when they're not under a simmering light, right? When you're using it with your tissue box or the flowers. Those images are huge and people love those. They're like, oh my gosh, I did not know that. So use those too. Again, give those. I think it's more about educating than playing it. Honestly, I know people want to have fun, but I think educating is huge, especially for people who don't know your product.
Go, Sandi. I can tell you're wanting to say something.
Like, oh my gosh, that just brought up something. Oh my gosh, y'all. It is so, so important to do your post more than just pink zebra.
Oh yeah.
An online party. People, yes. Do they want to see? Yes. I usually start out with a welcome with me in a picture, on a graphic and such. They want to see who's on the other side of who's doing all this posting. 100%. So please share a picture of yourself.
Yeah, agreed. And you know what? With all the stuff coming up, like I cannot wait for the pet line, because to post about your pets and ask them to post about their pets, like that's just an automatic, like, let's do this.
Pet list Danielle over here.
Do what?
Pet list. I'm pet list.
Oh, pet list Danielle. That's okay. That's okay. You'll get him on the kitchen stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah. There's always something. So let me ask you guys this. When your host, now that we know about this wish list, that it's updated regularly, when they go in and they pick stuff off their wish list, what do you think about saying to them, do you mind if every now and then I share a couple of things that you've highlighted on your wish list? And only because I'm sitting here thinking, whenever I've had parties, it's like the friend wants what she just bought. Everybody wants, I want what she's having. So if you say, okay, Melody is working on the skull and you guys, she's almost there, or she's got it and she's just earned it for free. Anybody else love this little skull? I mean, you can find a better way to say it, of course, but I just wonder if people would be like, oh my gosh, because everybody wants what she's having. Am I right?
Yeah, I have actually asked before the party has actually started, what are you working towards? Most of them say sprinkles. And I'm like, okay, so then I'm going to narrow it down. Which one are you working on? And then what I will usually do is make a little graphic of, okay, so Sarah is wanting this, this, and this. And oh, by the way, maybe on another post, she's winning this, beautiful simmer pot or the simmering light or the accent shade.
Yeah.
So I have done that.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I just feel like people will, because they seem to want what their friends are buying. So like, oh, I like that too. I didn't notice that one before. Funny. So anyway, it's another little tip. There's so many things that we could keep talking about. I know, but definitely like you guys mentioned the scent flirt and the opportunity. Definitely mention that, once or twice in your party. Okay, so everybody's saying thank you guys for doing this, and a couple of people said they don't have. Oh, somebody has a fur baby coming Friday. How exciting is that?
Or I'm wondering if that's going to be their theme, like Friday is Fur Baby Friday.
Oh yes.
Oh,
that's what I'm thinking.
Love that.
I'm all about themes, and I feel like this person's theming their life.
Fur Baby Friday.
I theme everything.
I love that. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, well, you guys, Danielle and Sandi, you guys have been amazing. I knew this would be informative. I knew it would be informative, but this has been really, really great. I've picked up a lot of tips from it too. So I'm ready to get out there and actually push having some online parties.
Everybody now comment party, because you're all going to go book at least 3 Facebook parties in the next 3 months. Right? I have to give a call to action. Call to action. Everyone go book 3 Facebook parties.
Yeah, absolutely. Book 3 Facebook parties. I do too. I love it so much. Okay, so and if anybody has any questions that you think of, maybe if you're watching the replay, post it in here, and the 3 of us will kind of keep an eye on it. Y'all don't mind doing that with me?
Okay, I'm here.
Awesome. Y'all are amazing. Thank you so much.
See
so much.
Bye.
Thank you guys. Bye.
Where do I leave this thing? Bye. Oh, look, all the parties.
Yeah.